All right, what's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. So, this is a little bit of life after Fellies, and we did a video already. It was, again, I'm gonna repeat myself, but it was probably one of the best videos ever made in this earth by a camera. But the audio was not working. So, yeah, that got scratched. So we're doing it now this way. This might hopefully be, a quarter of good as last video. We'll find out. We'll find out. So we were talking about, actually supposed to be like podcast style, but our podcast equipment was not working properly, so that kind of messed up a little bit of the whole thing. So,
life after Fellies.
life after Fellies. It's been rough for myself, and again, I can't speak for Ian, but
Yeah, it's been rough.
it's been rough. It's been rough. I'm looking outside and this guy looks like he's like the Terminator. For some weird ways, he's even walking.
No, I saw it.
You saw it? What the fuck's going on with FIFA, man?
You can't make it up, man.
Can't make that up. I would show you guys, but he is moving too far. You're probably not going to be able to see it. Right?
Yeah, that's really funny.
Yeah, whatever, man. So you kind of threw me off my story here. But, yeah, it's been rough. Some of the stuff or the corporate that we're pinning this to is a little bit to do with, I guess, last couple of years with the C word, the whole world shutting down. And I think there was just a lot of bad habits picked up over those years. And we're still feeling those effects. I think it's going to take, I say like 3 to 5 years. I don't know. Ian.
I think I took the under on that.
Yeah, Ian is being
2.5.
He's being a little bit more positive.
Or naive, depending on how you look at it.
I don't know. And the only reason I'm saying this is because these last couple of years went pretty fast. Even though they were all up and down, they went pretty fast. So it's just, and the thing is, they went pretty fast, but we're still feeling the effects from years ago. Like we're still feeling the effects very much from years ago. Or at least that's what my experience is. And even if I go to, I'm not talking about necessarily where I'm working at now. I'm talking about just in general. If you go out to another restaurant, I feel the same effects. The service is usually not as good. The food is like not cared for as much. It's just, I don't know. It's just not what it was a couple years ago before. And I'm pretty sure there is places that has been able to maintain better standards. But it makes it very difficult for a lot of these large places to maintain some of these standards. So that's just a little bit of my opinion.
Well, we were talking about in the first take, it was the idea of like restaurants now seem to be all like quantity or quality.
Yes.
Where it's in our bubble here, we went out of our way to focus on the quality.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure it was perfect every time, and we got used to it.
Yeah, it was quality over everything. Don't get me wrong, we try to be as fast as possible, but we just dropped my keys, but we try not to put speed over quality, in other words. And I started to see a lot of like that going on in the outside, that it's more about how quickly people can be served instead of like the quality of people being served and the quality of the food that is being served. And just in general, overall, forget about the restaurant business. Like if I go to a restaurant, if I go to Home Depot, and I use Home Depot because everybody knows who Home Depot is. Before, I remember going to Home Depot and I had a question. I would ask somebody a question and they would gladly help me for the most part. Now, I get a response of like, well, I only work in this department. I don't know where that's going on. And I'm just like, okay. So I guess I'm on my own now. I'm just exaggerating, but not exaggerating at the same time. That truly does happen. People just, seem to be a little bit less helpful, seem to be a little bit more on like very, very much concentrated of what their job is instead of like just doing good service.
But it's only their job.
Yeah.
As soon as something expands beyond their job description, it's not their problem. And I think that's the mentality we've noticed that's kind of rampant in customer service these days.
Yeah.
May or may not be because of the C word. I mentioned that I think my generation sucks before COVID hit. I think there was lack of pride, lack of taking too many shortcuts. And COVID I think it just made it worse, and it almost it gave them an excuse to not try, because who else are going to hire? And that's
that was a problem.
We got to get rid of that mentality, I think.
Yeah, and to be fair, I don't want to say that his generation is that bad. That in my generation is that much better, because there is people just the same in my generation. I feel like there might be a little bit less, but I've worked with people from my generation that were just absolutely shitty, and I can give you examples. If you guys want to hear examples, I can definitely tell you. Let me know. Leave a comment. I have plenty of examples. I have a couple examples of stuff that it will make you cringe. Pretty messed up. But that is, I'm trying to keep this a little time restraints right now.
What else did we cover in that first video? We were talking about life after Fellies, how we're adjusting.
Yes.
We had a bubble here, and it was just you and me working, and we get along. We had fun, and we got used to our way of service.
Yeah.
And you're working at a restaurant you opened over a decade ago. I'm working at a bar in my block, and it's an adjustment. That's what we brought up. Is it that we got used to something and we have to adjust, or is the world gotten used to the poor standards and they have to adjust, or is it a mixture of both? Which it's probably a mixture of both. But
I don't know. I don't know if you want to adjust to lower standards.
That's what I mean.
That's the whole thing, and I don't even think my standards were that outrageous at all. It was just trying to do quality over everything else, and that's kind of where we. All right, let me see. I gotta take this phone call because this, of course. So continuing with that. Sorry, I had to take that phone call that didn't pan out to nothing.
Standards. No, your standards were, it was a French onion soup. You want them to see that it's bubbling when we take it out.
Yeah.
It was the pork tenderloin. You want to make sure it was perfectly cooked, and we wouldn't sacrifice getting it out sooner as opposed to getting it out right.
Yeah.
To get it right the first time,
I don't think that's
I don't
too
think
hard.
Your standards weren't high, or they weren't too high. I mean,
they were fair, I think.
Yeah, they were just reasonable. They were just this is.
If you went out to eat, you would want your food to be done, cooked correctly. That's all. I wasn't trying to. We were not trying to run a Michelin star restaurant. Nothing wrong with a Michelin star restaurant, but that's just, I was not looking to run a Michelin star restaurant. I was looking to serve, good food with good service, and to have people come back. And we were lucky. We had people come back. It was just the traffic, and if we didn't have the people that came back, the traffic was not helping.
I would say at least 40, 50, even 60% were probably regulars.
Yeah. And
they were here once or twice a week.
Yeah. And it was just to get new people. The traffic in this place was unforgiving for some weird reason, especially after the C word. Yeah.
That's the name, after the C word.
Yeah, after the C word, it was just freaking, the traffic was brutal. It was, I can't even make, yeah. And don't get me wrong, there was a lot of changes that were done. That we made. We started off at a restaurant serving but a little bit more specialized food. We went to a point that we did a lot of takeout food, and then when we did the whole reopening and everything, we did small plates at one point, and we also did we simplified the menu to a more, I guess, welcoming more simplified, that people understood everything. So there was a little bit less specialized dishes of some sort. But the stuff that we did, we just try to make it as best as we can. So we had a French onion soup. I'm just using that as an example. Everybody knows what a French onion soup, but you know what? When we made our French onion soup, we made it the best we could. We made it. We followed all the steps. I thought it was a very good French onion soup. And again, that's just an example. So that's kind of what we did. So we had something simple in the menu, but we still try to make it taste the best that it could.
I mean, another great example is like a hamburger. Like it wasn't just a hamburger. It was really good patty and the leek jam, the homemade leek jam. Everybody likes that leek jam. It took it to the next level, dude. It was.
Yeah. We also did
it was amazing.
The double thick bacon cut. So we did it. You know, we every dish had a little bit of extra love in it, if that's a fair way of putting it. Again, you guys definitely leave your comments below. Let me know what your opinion on the last couple of years, how they've been. Have you noticed a change in service and quality of stuff? Yeah, let me know. I know I'm gonna go back in the kitchen and start cleaning up some stuff. But yeah, please let me know. We're gonna try to do this in a little podcast style. I got to work with some of the equipment. It didn't work out as well as I wanted to, but I know he might already have all the equipment, or I might just need to get a couple of stuff to finish off my equipment. We're gonna figure it out. All right. Any last words?
We'll be back.
We'll be back. All right. Peace later. All right. What's up, everyone? Welcome to the channel. I'm here at the restaurant again. Me and Ian in the background.
Hello.
We actually did a great video, probably one of the best videos ever made, but the audio was not working. Yeah.
At least by us, yeah.
Yeah, the audio was not working. Let's just say that. The audio was done. So, yeah, that kind of ruined the whole thing. Let me start this all over again. For some reason, this is... I'm just going to sit down and just have it like this, yes.
That's good.